Boker Tov, we're Mishlei Perek Tet Zayin, Pasuk Zayin. Birtzot Hashem darche ish, when Hashem desires the way of man, Hashem desires the way that you're going, Gam oyevav yashlim ito. Even your enemies will make peace with you. Hashem wants your ways. You're going on the right way, don't worry, even your enemies will make peace with you. So here, the Gaon of Vilna says, this is talking about spiritual enemies. And he says that a person could say, Hashem, look, I have difficulty in 3 areas, 3 spiritual enemies. And they're titled, I don't know how many women listen to the shiur, but they're titled Yetzer, Tinok, Ve'isha. Yetzer, baby, and the woman. Let's see what these mean. Number 1, a person says, I have the Yetzer Hara. Yetzer Hara wants me to sin, and the Yetzer Hara is also the same as the Satan, that in Shamayim, they're mekatreg alai. They're my a lawyer that's trying to knock me down. Not a defense lawyer, a prosecuting lawyer. This prosecuting lawyer that wants to. So in heaven, this Yetzer Hara wants me to sin and prosecutes against me and tells Hashem, look at how bad I am, etc. So I have something against me. Next is Tinok, is the baby, which is referring to the way I grew up, the natural tendencies of the way I grew up and my natural way that I behave. So I'm kind of stuck in that way. Like I'm used to doing this for so long, so I'm stuck in that way. So it's very difficult for me to go on the right path. And the last is Isha. What it means here is Isha Ra'ah, a bad woman, but it's not referring to a wife. Rather, he says in Kabbalah, Isha Ra'ah is referring to a person's nefesh behemit. We have part of our neshama is the animal part of us. That's the eating and the animalistic stuff that we do. This person says, I'm too connected to my animal side, and my animal side, could do sins, and therefore I'm too connected to that. So a person could say, I have the Yetzer Hara. I have the way I grew up and that type of thing that I'm used to. And my animalistic side of me is too difficult for me to change, to move, to become something better. So it says the pasuk: if a person really tries to go on the derech Hashem, your enemies will even make peace with you. Meaning all these 3 enemies that are trying to take you off of the path of Hashem, when you put your effort, then they will fall to the wayside. And the last pasuk for today: Tov me'at b'tzedaka merov tevuot belo mishpat. It's good, even a small amount of tzedaka, from many harvests with no law. So what this means here, says the Gaon of Vilna, is that it's good if a person, he makes a little bit of money, and he gives tzedaka based on that, because let's say the 10%, in the amount of money that you are meant to give, if you make a little, then it's easier for you. And you might say, what do you mean? If I make more, it's easy for me. But he's saying if you make more, then there's below mishpat. I'm making from here, making from there, making from there. Okay, so I gave 100,000, but really you owe 10%. It's much more. So the Yetzer Hara for not, I'm giving so much. Look at the honor I'm getting by giving so much. But hold on, you're not fulfilling your duty. It always goes with percentage. Okay, but I'm making a regular salary. I'll give 10%. I'll live within my means. So it's easier to control the 10% that you're giving if you're making less. But if you're making a lot more, it's you could be giving a lot, but you might not still be fulfilling your 10%. And it might be below mishpat. I'm giving here, I'm giving there, I'm giving there. But come on, I'm giving so much. Hold on a second. Let's go in the papers. This guy's making just $100,000 a year, and he's pulling off 10%. You're making $10 million a year. Are you giving $1 million? You're giving 600,000, 700,000. Wow, it looks so great. Everyone's giving you honor. Everything's great, but you're not fulfilling your. So when it's smaller amount in a certain way, you could be fulfilling your tzedakah obligations. The bigger amount, you got to be in control of it, because it could look like that you're doing good with your tzedakah obligation. And it's harder to, because when you have a lot, and it's like, how can I give all this? I'm giving, 600,000 out of the $1 million that I owe for tzedakah. But it's So it can be more difficult where a person needs to be on his game to make sure that he's doing his 10%. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen, ve'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akashya אמר יצא הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל לפיכך יגבה להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר אדוני חפץ למען צדקו יגדיל תורה וידיר.